Gary Vaynerchuk, affectionately known as Gary V. Since I already did a video on how Gary helped me to get 3,000 subscribers, it's a true story, not just clickbait. If you haven't seen it, definitely check out how Gary did that. But I digress. Anyway, since I had made the video and I noticed that I needed one more Gary V cartoon caricature, and I figured, well, since I have to make it anyway, I might as well let you guys look over my shoulder as I do it. So, as always, I start in Artstudio app. It's a free app that has a paid version, of course, but you don't need that. You can get it in the App Store. It's an Apple app, and for my needs, it acts like Photoshop in that I can illustrate with it and use layers. So I start with making my rough sketch on the first layer that if I was just using regular paper, it would just be a pencil sketch. Once I'm satisfied with the sketch, I get another layer and start in on the inking like I'm doing now. What's great about Gary V's appearance is it's so basic. I mean, he has these definite visual hooks, I like to call them, so that you can easily draw a representation of his face in whatever style you use, exaggerated, cartoony like I'm doing here, or realistic. He has the eyebrows, those eyebrows, thick, bushy. He has that small mouth. That's the smile is almost like a sneer, but not quite. And what he has, his favorite feature, is that Flintstone-like razor stubble. He has a short haircut, cut in military style. In my neighborhood, we used to call it a fade. And even though Gary is filthy, stinking rich, he's a very personable guy, which I like about him. And he always wears this iconic black t-shirt or black polo shirt. It's always black. I mean, if Gary, wears a pastel color, I think I'd faint. I must have seen him, in any color besides black. But he wears black. That's his signature look. I discovered, quotation marks, Gary V back in the early 2000s when he was famous for Wine Library. Drawing the wine glass here. There's no reason whatsoever that I should have ever been attracted to Gary, because I wasn't a wine drinker. I'm not even a beer drinker. But he had a name, and I mentioned this in the video. He had a name that was so outrageous, Vaynerchuk, that I said, well, this guy might be good for a couple of laughs. And I was so glad that I tuned in on him, because he had and he continues to have some very insightful things to say, and that's why he's a famous online YouTube digital marketing genius and influencer, and he really does deserve whatever wealth he has, because he is fantastic. And unlike so many people online, he is genuinely, and you feel this coming from him, genuinely interested in helping YOU. But I'm giving away too much about the video that I made about him, so I want you to check that out. Again, it's called How Gary V Got Me 3,000 Subscribers.